But Perek Chamishi, in the 5th chapter of Pirkei Avos, it lists a number of things which have the number 10. Here, let's see here, 10. Let's start off. Mishnah Aleph. Ba'asaro ma'amaros nivro olam. With 10 utterances, God created the world. Let's go to Mishnah Beis. Asaro doros, there were 10 generations from Adam until Noach. Good? Right in the middle of Perek Beis, there were 10 generations from Noach until Avraham. Let's go to Gimel, the beginning of Mishnah Gimel. Asara nisyonos, there were 10 tests, nisnasu Avram Avinu, that were given to Avram. Let's go to the beginning of Daled. Asara nisyon, there were 10 miracles that were done in Egypt. And there were 10 more on the sea when they got to Yam Suf. And there were 10 plagues that God brought on the Egyptians. 10 of them in Egypt. There were 10 more plagues that God brought to them on the sea when they got to Yam Suf. Huh? Right, each one is 10. 10, 10, 10.
How did the animals survive? Like the sharks, the whales, the fish, the octopuses?
Where?
In the ocean.
When?
When the 10 plagues happened. How did the animals
Had nothing to do with them. Only hit the Egyptians. Asara Nisyonos, there were 10 tests that the Jewish people tested God in the desert. The Jewish people made God mad 10 times. I'm not going any further. Let's just, all these number 10s. Hey, Mishnah Hey. You with me? Mishnah Hey.
Weren't there 10 miracles in the Beis HaMikdash?
1 second. 10 miracles were made for our forefathers in the Holy Temple. Did you peek?
Yes.
Oh ho. 10 miracles were done for our forefathers in the Holy Temple. And it lists what they are, the 10 miracles. Let's go a little further. Vav, Mishnah Vav. 10 things were created Erev Shabbos and Bein HaShemoshos. Right before Shabbos came in, 10 things were created. And it lists the 10 things what they are. That's it, 10 things. So here we have all of these number 10s, 10 things that are listed, right? 10 things that are very important in Judaism. 10 plagues on the sea, 10 plagues in Egypt, 10 miracles were done, 10 tests, Avram test, the 10 tests that the Jewish people tested God, 10 miracles in the Holy Temple, the 10 utterances. But amazingly, it leaves out the most important number 10 there is in Judaism, and that is the 10 commandments. That should be the first one that's mentioned here, the 10 commandments. That's the basis of Judaism. Why does it forget? Why does it leave it out? Can't be it forgot it. Can't be. I mean, even if they forgot it the first time, somebody in the course, hey, you forgot 10 commandments. So it must be that purposely the 10 commandments were left out. Why? Let's see what the Rebbe has to say. Tess. Please be with me. Tess. But Perek Chamish. But Perek Chamishi in Maseches Avos, in the 5th chapter of Pirkei Avot, Mona HaMishnah Kama Inyani, many things that are the number 10. And I just said what they were. Yesh Lahavin, we have to understand, Madua Eina Mishnah Maskira et Eser Devorot. Why doesn't the Mishnah talk about the 10 commandments? If you're talking about things that came in the number 10 that are important to Judaism, that for sure should be one of them. Because before everything is the Torah. The Avot of the Olam. That in the world, Nimsa Misbah, the fact that there are number 10 in the world, well, the whole world comes from the Torah. Ulakala Rosh Shebasaram Mamoros, in the beginning, the 10 utterances that God created the world, where do they come from? They come from the 10 utterances that God said on Mount Sinai. The world is created from the Torah. How does it say in the beginning of the creation? Bereshis Bor Elokim. And Rashi says, it didn't have to say Bereshis, it could have just said Reshis. Why did it have to say Bereshis? Because there were 2 things that preceded the world. What are the 2 things that preceded the world, Yonah? The Torah and the Jewish people. The Torah and the Jewish people were before the world was created. If so, the Torah, that's the 10 commandments. Why isn't the 10 commandments mentioned here? Like the rabbis say, Yedua, Ala Pasuk, Asara, Asar, Hakaf, B'Shekel, HaKodesh, It's known what the rabbis say on the pasuk when the Jewish people brought to the Mishkan when it was being inaugurated. It says the chiefs of the tribes, each one brought 10 units of incense, a kaf v'shekel hakodesh. 10. She'asaram mamoros. Why 10? It says because it's talking about the 2 tens that are mentioned in the Torah, the eser mamoros, the 10 utterances. They are mekuvanim. They are intended exactly, and they come from the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments preceded the world. Hayat tzarech limanot. If so, it should have been the first thing. It should be that the first thing that's mentioned are the 10 commandments. Sheme'em novim, that from the 10 commandments come the whole entire world, everything, all the miracles that God made in Egypt and going out of Egypt and the sea, and that the tests that the Jewish people tested God and the test that Abraham, all this comes from the 10 commandments. Why is that left out? That's the big number 10. If it's listing things that are number 10 in Judaism, it should list that. Hezbollah Davish is the Rebbe. The answer, Limarot Shekal Davarim Novim Yesar Davarot. Even though everything in the world comes from the 10 commandments, comes from the Torah, Hariyahim, these 10 commandments are muvdalim lagamri. They're not part of the world. Ba'en aroch. I'm sorry?
They're just a part of Judaism.
They're part of the Creator himself. They're part of the Creator himself. The world comes from the Torah. The Torah itself alone is incomparable to the world. Incomparable to the world. Amnam, but calling yani mikoram Torah. All things, their sources in the Torah. Of the Torah, eno misuva getter dom. True, everything comes from the Torah, but the Torah is not part of the world at all. We're going to be finished in another 15 minutes. 15 minutes, hold on. Lefichach, therefore, ein a Mishnah mone as aseres divorce. Therefore, the Mishnah does not count the 10 commandments because it's impossible to include them and to count them with anything else in the world. You might think that the Torah somehow or other is somewhat similar to all the other numbered things in the world, and it's not. Something like we talked about the ark, right? The ark was a thing in the world. Of course, it has measures, but it was there and it wasn't there at the same time. It had no measure. How could it be it had no measure? And that's impossible. That's right, it's impossible. That's what it was. And so if somebody offers you, and you see it in the newspaper, in AliExpress, they want to say the ark, the holy ark, don't buy it. Because it's not measurable. It's not a thing. Huh? It's not a thing, right? And what was in the ark? The ark was the holy temple, the tablets. Shenasu b'beit hamikdash, amakom sheba'olam bo haya v'shechanti et atzmuto. That's where God put His essence. God is called Nimna ha-Nimnaot. God is called the impossible of the impossible. What does it mean, impossible of the impossible? That there could be something infinite in this world, physical world. That's impossible. In order to be infinite, it has to be outside of the world. Outside of the world. How can there be something outside of the world that's infinite and it's still in the world? That's called the impossible of the impossible. Therefore, the miracles that were in the Holy Temple, they join miracles with nature. And that was the essence of what a Jew is supposed to be and what every Jew is, whether he wants to or not. Limarot zod, nevertheless, ein aseret divrot nimnim b'mishnah. The 10 commandments are not counted in the Mishnah, even though that the whole world comes from them. Mishum she'em muvdalim, because they are separated, v'na'alim, and elevated, afilu mi'asar nisim, even from the 10 miracles that were in the Beis HaMikdash. That's also miracles. Why, if we're counting miracles, counted 10 miracles in the temple, so why not count the Torah? That's also miracles. Says the Rebbe, no. Beis HaMikdash, the holy temple, si ashlemot shel olam. The holy temple is the ultimate, total, completion and wholesomeness of the world. It was God revealed in the world. Creator revealed in the creation. Tachlit briat ha'olam is shetiya lo yitbrich dir b'tachtonim. The whole reason that God created the world was that so God would have a place to live in this physical world. And where was this? In the Holy Temple. So if so, we have a little taste of what's going to be in the days of the Mashiach was already here, in the Holy Temple. The Holy Temple was a place people would go and they would be happy. They would feel, I'm being created by God. Oh, this is wonderful. They would feel how great God is. And they would feel, God is creating me. I'm special. God cares for me. Lo ke'en Torah. And the Holy Temple was the call from completion of the world. But the Torah was something even more. The Torah, Kadma La'olam, was before the world. The Beit HaMikdash was the ultimate completion of the world. But the Torah is before the world. Hu nalit lagamri me'olam. It's higher than anything in the world, even afilu mi Beit HaMikdash. It's higher even from the Holy Temple. When we're learning the Torah, we're sitting and learning the Torah, we think we're learning a regular book, right? Like I saw this advertisement for one of these yeshivas in Bnei Brak, or whatever it is. And they said there was a picture of a person standing there, and there was these mountains, right? And the mountains were in the shape of the 5 books of the Torah. And they brought a quote from Sir Edmund Hillary. He was the first person to climb Mount Everest. He said, it was there and I was here and I knew I had to conquer it. Because the Torah is something I'm going to conquer. No, that's a way of looking at things. The more Torah you got, you have a lot of Torah and you're a big important person. Says the Rebbe, no, the fact that's true, but the fact of the matter is it's not all really true. It's not really true truth. Really true truth is that the Torah should conquer us.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say.
Oh, you never?
Conquered the Torah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ukafi shedubar kama pam. A person is the goal in a lot of the other yeshivas is what's called to be a gadol. A gadol in Torah. He knows the whole Torah kulo. He can put everybody else down.
Yeah, okay.
Put everybody in my small pocket. What?
But still you don't conquer the
Sure. Yeah. Knows the whole Torah, knows everything backward and
It's
further.
not conquering it, it's just knowing it, memorizing it.
To them it's not. He echad im HaKodesh Baruch Hu is one with God. Harikeshem shelagabi Kodesh Baruch Hu, just like by God. Ein makom lomar, we can't say that the purpose of God, why does God exist? He exists for some purpose. God's existence is pure existence. It's more than pure existence. All existence comes from God. Okay, Yonah, be awake. Comes from God. Get a double bed for you and Mr. Smith. Kefi shedover kampam.
Get from AliExpress.
That's right.
Air mattress.
Air mattress.
Bunk mattress.
Shelagabi Kodesh Baruch Hu in makom. God does not exist for any reason. God is not there in order to please his parents, or he's there in order for some reason. God is pure existence. It's just pure being. And even more, it's even more than pure being. God creates all being. So if so, we can't say that God exists for a reason. The same thing with the Torah. The Torah cannot be considered exist for a reason. There are things that the Torah does. There's things that God does. God wants it to dwelling in the lower worlds. But God is infinite. It's above infinite. It's called the Nimna HaNimnoah. It's the impossible of the impossibles. Ki'im bo atzmo. The essence of God is Hashem, God himself. So it is also the Torah. When we're learning the Torah, we have no idea what we're doing. We have no idea what an amazing, miraculous thing is that we're actually learning the wisdom of God and connecting to the essence of God. It's the Torah and the Tanya, Pirkei 5. Yeh Yud Aleph, call in Yinim Shabbat Torah. Everything there is in the Torah. We're going to take a break in just a couple minutes. Everything is in the Torah. Misham Shim Horah Ba'avodah tells us a little something about how we should live in the world, how we can serve our Creator. Kashem Shetzorichim, just like you have to learn from what's written in the Torah. Also, you have to learn from Af Mina Avuda, the fact that things are where the Torah is not written in Pirkei Avos. It's not written here. The 10 Commandments. It's not contained. What does it mean? We have to learn from the fact that it's not written. What's not written? Iyazkarat, the not mentioning of the 10 Commandments by means of the Tana here in this chapter Tomenes b'Torah hora. There is inside botocha. There is in it a very, very deep lesson. The Torah is not like any other book in the world. The Torah is not like any wisdom in the world. The Torah, in fact, is not really even part of the world at all. Limud Torah tzorech liot. When you learn Torah, it has to be lishma, for the sake of the Torah. What does it mean for the sake of the Torah? That you have no idea what you are doing. You're just learning the wisdom of God and trying to understand it as well as possible. But every time you have a chance you have to sit and learn the Torah, to say the words of the Torah, it's like you're kissing God. Infinite. L'shem Torah, bishvil Torah, that you're learning for the sake of the Torah itself and not for any other reason that it's going to make you great, that it's going to make you successful. And it'll do those things. It'll make you great, it'll make you successful, you'll have a better family, etc. Like we just finished learning. The father and the mother, these are all wonderful things, but that's not the reason you learn. Those things you have to let God take care of. Your job is to learn the Torah, to know what God, know how to connect to God. You're connecting to God. This way of learning the Torah, lishma, what's called learning lishma, means learning only for the sake of the Torah itself. Mitpateh, it is expressed in the fact that your learning of Torah is not going to be limited. You're not only going to learn the Torah when you feel good, or when you feel satisfied, or when you feel calm. If a person learns for some purpose, a physical purpose, or even a spiritual purpose, he wants to be a big tzaddik, he wants to be a rabbi, because he has a goal that's limited, so as soon as he gets to this goal, his learning is also going to be limited. He'll only learn things that are relevant to this goal. He wants to get a good wife, right? So he wants to show off, so he learns what everybody's learning in the yeshiva, and then he knows better than anybody else. What about the rest of the Torah? If a person learns just for the sake of the Torah, just for the sake of Hashem, then he's not limited. He's not thinking about what he's going to get at all. Then his learning is unlimited. He's connecting to the Creator. Kamadubar, like we said a lot of times, Shabbahagbala, Limud Torah, Shakiyumum, Galafia Shulchan Aruch, and that the only limitations there are learning Torah is only considering the mitzvah of learning the Torah. It says everyone should go through the Torah, the whole Torah once. You went through once, you did the mitzvah. You don't have to do it anymore. But the Torah itself is not limited by any limitations of time or even of place. Ad until ve'eya etzlo shashuim, until the Torah becomes to Hashem a pleasant, beautiful thing. We give to Hashem great pleasure when we learn the Torah for the sake of the Torah. And we'll have a 5-minute break, 3-minute break, and